Today's video we're going to talk about books and reading goals for 2019. What up everyone? So today's Friday. Fridays are probably my favorite day of the week. I'm sure it is for all of you. But today, hopefully on Fridays, I would like to talk about more about me and just more of like Friday favorites or inspired Fridays. I'm not really sure what to call it yet, but I just thought it would be more of my day to be more comfortable with you guys and for you guys to get to know me. So today though, we're going to talk about books. If you've been following me here on YouTube or my Instagram, you know that I kind of kicked off reading a lot more books last summer. I really enjoyed reading last year, and especially in the fall. I just dove into a bunch of YouTubers, booktubers I guess, and a lot of different genres and things, but there was just a lot of authors that I've been falling in love with. So I definitely want to continue that for 2019. I just don't want to set myself up for failure or just give myself too many goals this year. So I thought I'd share with you guys my reading goals for 2019. I do have a book haul, or my last book haul from 2018, and things that I got for Christmas that I definitely need to show that I haven't gotten to share with you guys. But I'll also share with you guys some of the books that I have pulled that are in my interest as of now. I'll probably pull some from my bookshelf that I created a little bit over the past couple months if you guys saw my book haul. I've slowed down since then, but it's a goal of mine this year to read from that. But I definitely will be pulling some books and keeping them on my desk here behind me of books that are interesting to me at the time. I'm definitely a mood reader, that's for sure. So enough with that. Let's just go over my 2019 reading goals. Okay, so I'm not like this big booktuber or anything like that. I don't want to come off as this booktuber, but I guess I'm in my mid-30s. I'm just more reading now, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just the time where I'm just starting to read more and I'm enjoying it. So I'm just going to continue that. Before I didn't read as much. I would definitely go to the library with my kids and read with them when they were little. I would definitely pick up series that came out to be a movie. I'm definitely a person that, you know, watched more movies and, you know, got into the series of TV shows and things, but never much as a true bookworm, I guess you could say. But I feel like now I am. I don't know. But so I don't want to come off as this booktuber because I'm not. I'm just gonna. That's why Fridays are gonna be more towards a little low key of what I'm reading and things. Okay, so for 2019, I have 5 goals for myself, and I just have this little journal here. This is from Michael's. It's nothing too fancy, but it is considered my reading bullet journal. So first I want to go over my reading goals that were for 2018. I always give myself 5. I think that's a good number to start off with. But number 1 was to buddy read with the girls. With my kids. I have 2 girls, and I did mostly with Charlie, my youngest, but not with my oldest, because she's a little older. She does her own thing. She reads her own thing. But so that was, you know, 50%. Number 2 was to read a Stephen King book because I've watched all the movie adaptations. I've never actually read his book, and I didn't get around to it. I don't know what happened. I do have the book that I plan on reading. It's Firestarter. I still have it on my desk. I still plan on reading that. It just, again, I'm a mood reader, and it just didn't reach out to me. But I still plan on that. I'm rolling that over for 2019. So that didn't happen. Number 3 was participate in readathons, which I did a couple on my channel last year. Those were fun, so that did happen. So basically 1 goal so far. Number 4 was to find a favorite thriller author. I noticed that my favorite genres is horror and thrillers, mostly. I didn't necessarily find a thriller author, but I did find a horror author that I absolutely love, and that is Grady Hendrix. I read 2 of his books that I absolutely loved. And so that was an author that I know that I could say, hey, I love Grady Hendrix, because I really loved the 2 books that I read for him, and I can't wait to read more from him in 2019. So that was 2 goals that I kind of completed. And then number 5 was to read and watch more movie adaptations. I just wanted to, like, I love that. I love reading a book and then watching the movie and then comparing the 2. Usually did before is if I did any reading, it was because I wanted to, you know, read the book and then watch the movie. I did a lot of that with, you know, Twilight, Divergent, I can't remember the rest, but, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird, but that was just because of school. I read that in high school. But anyways, that, I did read a couple of books, but I just didn't get around to watching the movie, which is odd, right? You know, it's always the other way around. One of the books was You by Caroline Kepnes, and it finally hit Netflix, so I'll be able to watch that here soon. So all in all, I think I did pretty okay with my reading goals. And then for count-wise on Goodreads, I set myself up to do 12. I think I started in the summer, and then I bumped it up to 15, and then I bumped it up to 20, and I just kept it there, which I did. I got up to 20 because I'm a beginner. I'm not like this bookworm rock star where I read like 5 books in a week. I think I challenged myself with that with the reading thons, but wow, that is a lot to read. So, yeah, not there yet. Still a beginner. So with 2019, I gave myself 5 reading goals again, and the first one is to read at least 2 books a month, like to complete 2 books a month. I'm not quite sure if that includes audiobook or not, but definitely reading 2 full books a month. Number 2 is to read a Stephen King book. I will definitely do that because I'm starting at the beginning of the year. Last year I started in the summer, so I have tons of time to read him, which I love his movies, by the way. Okay, number 3 is to read 5 books on my top 50 authors that I did last year in my journal here. So last year in my bullet journal here, I wrote down 50 authors that I want to read, and a lot of this was recommendations from booktubers that I follow on Instagram or here on BookTube, and yeah, so I just picked top 50. I'm not quite sure if I might be still interested, but I did put them on here, but I would like to read 5 of those, and I did read some of those last year. Hopefully you guys can see that. But yeah, so to read 5 of those, and hopefully when I did my hauls, my book hauls, I tried to grab books that were actually on here, or authors that were on my list as well. So number 4 relates to that. So read 10 books pulled from my shelf. So books that I've hauled over the last year, definitely read at least 10 of those. And number 5 is just to read with my girls. Still trying to keep that momentum with them too. I mean, I read a lot to them when they were little, but I want to get in the habit of them reading with them, or them having reading goals themselves, because this is something kind of personal, but with my kids, they're both dyslexic, and it's supposed to be very helpful for them to read every single day, or set some time with that. And I don't know, it's just, they're getting older, and it's just interesting of what they like, and we can talk about it. So a long time ago, I tried to do this book club with me and the girls and things. That's still a dream of mine, or a possibility, but I love that connection with them. But you know, sometimes it's really hard well, not my oldest, she loves to read, but my youngest, I just try to encourage her as much as I can. So that's just a goal of mine, to not get lost in reading with me, but also read with them. Okay, so yeah, that's some of my reading goals for 2019. Definitely stay tuned next Friday. I will definitely probably post a haul, and then the top 5 of 2018 books that I absolutely loved. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'd like to share with you guys some of the books that I have on my desk that I'm interested at the moment to read for January. The first one I have here is The Winter People by Jenoff McMahon. I don't know. That's one thing you'll notice, and I know it's like that in a lot of videos. It's with authors' names. I don't know what it is about names, but you never know how to pronounce it. but I definitely want to read this one. It seems very interesting to me. It does take place in another time period, and it's about a death situation. So I definitely wanted to read into this. I think it's more of a thriller / mystery genre. It's like supernatural, chilling in my area that I like to read sometimes. So I have that one, and then I have The Running Dream. I think this is more YA. A 16-year-old girl that is a runner, and then something tragic happens to her in her life. And it just seems something that I'd like to read about. Anyhow, it's about running, and you guys know if you follow me that I love to run. It's kind of my therapy, and I'm kind of interested in this, and I think my oldest would love to read this as well. So I definitely want to maybe read that. The next book I have is Days of Awe by Lauren Fox. This book I got at the Dollar Tree, actually, and it's about a woman who goes through, like, this whole thing in her life. Her best friend passes away, and I think she has some issues with her husband, and then she's struggling with her teenage daughter, which I have a teenage daughter, and it is so different. It is so different. Things that I've noticed with her, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not ready for it. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know, it's something I think I could relate to. The character Isabel in this book, so I don't know, it sounded interesting. I kind of want to read that. And then lastly, I definitely want to read this. I think this is what I want to read first, is The Orphan Tale. I kept saying train, but it's The Orphan Tale by Pam Jenoff, and it's a very tragic book. Like, this book is probably going to be emotional, but I'm just really intrigued because it's more in the historical area, and that's another genre that I love, is something that's in past period and history and what it was like for others in different places. So I know this is going to be very emotional. It takes place in World War II. It's about a 16-year-old who gets pregnant by a Nazi soldier. She loses her baby, and then she comes across this train with infants related to the concentration camps. And so I just know this is going to be very heartbreaking, but I'm really interested in this book. So these are the books that I would like to read and start off in 2019 for the new year and some of my reading goals. But that's all I have for you guys today in this video. I thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll check you in the next one. Create, love, and inspire. Bye.